So we are continuing from yesterday. We said, and the Siman, again today is the 12th of the month of Tammuz. We are holding it still in Siman Resh Med Bet. Yesterday we did Shulchan Aruch. Today we're going to continue with Mishnah Berurah. So, right there, where the arrow is. Right there, yeah. So Sif Katan Aleph. So Siman Resh Med Bet, Sif Aleph, Sif Katan Aleph. He's going to join us. Don't worry, he'll sit over there. So it said like this. So just a quick reminder, in the Shulchan Aruch said, somebody even is the what? Depending on others, should make his Shabbat, what? He is obligated to honor Shabbat. So yesterday, beautiful question, Zohar asked, what does that mean, honoring Shabbat? And we already alluded to it, there are many elements, many aspects, what it means to honor Shabbat, right? So it could be food, it could be laundry, it could be showering. You'll see later on that many things we do in honor of Shabbat, and that's so the rabbi says. So when the rabbi started, when a poor person, right, somebody who is dependent on other people, right? We have unfortunately a poor person here in the neighborhood. Ma's poor. The man is in his 60s almost. He ain't got no money, and he's begging for food. Begging literally one Shabbat he couldn't buy even soda for Shabbat. I wasn't here. And Mamash Baruch Hashem made an appeal here, so Baruch Hashem people give it the next Shabbat. But still, one Shabbat is suffering. This is what we're talking about, right? So now he says like this. No, right now let's learn. Hine ikar, habibi. Inside Mishnah Berurah. Forget about money now. We're talking about. This is what we're talking about. Hine ikar mitzvat onik Shabbat. You with me? Hine the entire honor of onik, enjoyment of Shabbat. What is that? As our prophets have told us, as it says in the Torah, you should call Shabbat onik. So Ish Mazliach over here, Ubachazon Ish, Ubachazon Ovadia. So he brings down Katav Demikol Makom Hu Min Torah Me'Halacha LeMoshe B'Sinai. Oh, he argues on Mishnah Berurah. The first thing here, Ish Mazliach Anichol Shabbat. Yeah, give him this. Ish Mazliach is, you know what that is? Rav Mazuz. Rav Mazuz is Rosh Yeshiva Parat Yosef. Okay? So you don't have over here Ish Mazliach. I do. So I'm going to tell you, I'm steering you away because over here I have simanim, I have signs, like one through this page alone has about six corrections, 6 additions that Ish Mazliach is Kiviyachol. So right now he's already telling you that Mishnah Berurah Chafetz Chaim says like this, that there's an illusion and there's a psukim in Nevi'im about the Karata Shabbat Onik. It's a pasuk in the Navi. So he says from there we learn what honoring Shabbat is, what having enjoyment of Shabbat. So Rav Mazliach right away interjects. No, not Rav Mazliach. Sorry, Ish Mazliach. This is Rav Mazuz from Parat Yosef. He says like this, that no, honoring Shabbat is Halacha LeMoshe B'Sinai. It's not Nevi'im. We don't learn it from the Nevi'im. We learn it actually from up on high. Halacha LeMoshe B'Sinai means HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu that you should be honoring Shabbat. ולפי זה מה שכתב בשעת כאן שלדברי ספר החינוך מרן בבית יוסף היה מדברי סופרים אינו מוכרח ודוק. Okay, so yes, Mishnah Berurah actually learns it out from Beit Yosef, he learns it out from Sefer Chinuch, Rambam, right? So that we learn the Karata Shabbat Onik, which is mostly people. Till I didn't see Rav Mazuz, I didn't know this actually. Honoring Shabbat mitzvot is Halacha Mishon Misnai. All my life we taught Mishnah Berurah. All my life, I said, Rav Mazuz, okay, what it is important, it's dejecting here, it says, no, it's Halacha LeMoshe B'Sinai to honor Shabbat and love Shabbat and respect Shabbat. It's not from Nevi'im, which means it's much more greater. Which means it's greater. Okay. V'yesh poskim, continue Mishnah Berurah. V'yesh poskim d'svira lehud v'ikaro hu min dat Torah. Habibi, I told you where the arrow points. Where are you?
So that was one page back.
I'm back. So now, okay, second line. V'yesh poskim, then the end of the second line. V'yesh poskim, some hold, d'svira lehu v'ikaro min Torah. No. Some say, Rav Mazuz brought it out. It's from Torah. It's from the Torah. שהשבת היא בכלל מקראי קודש because Shabbat is sanctified itself. Shneimar, Vayom HaShvi'i Shabbat Shabbaton Mikra Kodesh. It says over there that the seventh day it's called a sanctified day. It's a sanctified day. Okay? And that's sanctified means honor. Mikre Kodesh Pirshu. What is Mikre Kodesh? What does it mean? The rabbi is going to tell us. Explanation. You there with me? Pirshu Chazal, our sages taught, Besifram, Dehainu Likacho Lechabdo Bechesut Nikiya Ul'ango Be'oneg Achila O Shtiya. What does that mean? Dehainu, meaning Likadosho, to sanctify it, Ulechabdo, and to honor it. How do you sanctify? What does sanctify means? Only talking? No. Bechesut Nikiya, becoming with a beautiful suit, or dressing, a woman to dress up nicely, Ul'ango, and to have pleasure, Be'oneg Achila O Shtiya. Pleasure specifically with meat, with food, and drinking. Okay? The Pligu Chazal, and more so the rabbis they disagree, but what? In Masechta Shabbat, page 118, the discussion over there is greatly in the reference to this mitzvah. Whoever enjoys this world Shabbat properly, they give him an inheritance without any suffering. And a person is protected from the oppression of the nations. For instance, I had just quickly a side note, 23 years ago, about this time, I had a scam done on me by Colombian mafia, and they stole from me. I was stealing cell phones. They stole from my company 200 cell phones from Nextel. You remember Nextel? Nextel was a button. You press a button. There was a right. So Colombian mafia, the Italian, the Spanish people, whatever it is, the crazy people. They stole from me 200 units. Now apparently it's a federal crime because it's cell phones. So who was involved? CIA. CIA was involved. So now CIA is suspecting me. I'm involved also because they stole it from me. So it has to be that I'm the corrupt person. I lost over $60,000, but I'm a corrupt person. Okay. So now they are chasing me. They tap me everything just to get me in trouble. I get a phone call Thursday afternoon from the CIA. Mr. Sofer, we would like to speak with you in our office tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. Come to tower number 2. Okay, this was Thursday. Come on Friday to us. We want to speak with you in reference to that. We want to discuss more in our office. I said, and I didn't know much. I was a youngster, so I didn't know. Like today, if a police officer calls, he talks to you, you say, "Thank you, officer. Do you need anything from me extra?" You don't reply anything. You don't say anything. The rule is you don't talk to them. Police officers are not your friends. They're not. If a police officer approaching you, he wants to do something to you. They're not your friends. Right? So I told the guys, you know what, sir? On Friday, I don't travel to Manhattan before Shabbat. I had this craziness. I don't travel to Manhattan on Erev Shabbat because so many stories. So, trains get stuck. Yeah. The people get stuck in the train and walking. I said, Erev Shabbat, I'm not going to Manhattan. Okay. Talk to my attorney. Called up my attorney. My attorney calls me back. Says, Avram, don't even think about going. They want to arrest you. So I told him, tell them we'll be there next week. Okay. Next week, what was next week? Tuesday. They never called me since. September 11th. The building went up in flames.
I had a feeling you were going to say it.
Okay? This was Thursday, Friday, Monday. I don't know what happened. Maybe I didn't pick up their phone.
Was it Tuesday?
Tuesday. Yeah. Tuesday morning. Tuesday, I never got a phone call from them again. They forgot about me. You hear what? Honoring Shabbat. I'm telling you, it's an honor Shabbat because I said on Friday, and I never went to Friday. One time I went through. What happened was we had a Pesach hotel. It was somewhere, I don't know. I had to go to Manhattan. That's the only I remember when I Erev Shabbat going to Manhattan. Twice I went. Once I went there because we needed documents for our children, something for medical purposes. So Friday I went there once. And second time was this Pesach. I had to drive through Manhattan. It was hurting me. I had to go to FDR. I said, "Hey, I'm not going on Fridays to Manhattan." But listen, I had to take my family to a hotel. So that was through Manhattan. Okay, no. So that's called what? A person who is Oneg Shabbat. If you honor Shabbat properly, Hakadosh Baruch Hu is going to protect you from the oppression of the government. Vezoche avur ze la'ashirut. More than that, if somebody honors Shabbat properly, all the wealth that he will get is from that. Vayen sham od kama me'amarim be'inyan ze. The Gemara over there, the Gemara that goes back and forth. What happens to a person who keeps Shabbat properly? Now, what are the elements of how to fulfill the honoring Shabbat? There are three types. There are three routes. One. אמרו דצריך להנגו בדגים גדולים וראשי שומין ותבשיל של טרדין. Okay? One is that you have to buy a very juicy fat fish. That's what I do. I like, the salmon. The most juiciest part is what? The edge. They give you a slice. So the edge by the stomach, that's like a juicy, like a fat. That's like a fattest part of the fish. Or in Russia, when we were growing up, I remember that we used to get a head, and inside the head, the scope, they have the brain of the fish. You ever ate that? Delicacies, habibi. Delicacies. You know what I'm saying? I can't find the fish over here. You get all the small fishes.
Also because when we were growing up in the Soviet Union, a lot of the parents were used to eating good fish because during the war there was not enough meat.
Yeah. Right, but he's telling you that there is such a concept. We buy big fish, dolim. I'm going fishing all the time. I catch fish 9 inches, 10 inches. One time I bought a fish 3 pounds, a nice fish over here in the lake, and we ate it Yom Tov, out of the sword. Okay, so he's telling you good fish. V'rashei shumin v'tavshil shel tradin. I don't know what tradin is, but it has to be fatty stuff. So that was used to be what was important. Of course, in France, L'Avdil, they enjoy frogs. There's a delicacy called the frogs. So I don't know, L'Avdil over there, whatever. Some people today, they tell my kids like, what? Huh? You eat the head of the fish brain? Like, they go crazy.
Yeah, they've seen me do
And Rosh Hashanah, my wife doesn't cook the head of the fish.
I mean, that's the only time, Rosh Hashanah.
Rosh Hashanah is like, I'm all in it. I'm all in the head. I'm all in the head, habibi. Okay. וכן בכל מקום ומקום, לפי מנהגו, יענגוהו במאכלים ומשקים החשובים להם עונג. So in every place, the rabbi says, it's according to their custom, what is considered to be their pleasurable meal. Like I know Rob over here and his family, they love to eat milk. Like lasagna, shmazania, big zir, on Shabbat. On Shabbat. Yeah, that's that's his family, that's what they enjoy. What is it called? Eggplant parmesan. My daughter gave me once the other day. Eggplant parmesan was out of this world. Almost like steak. But without the bone, right? Huh? I'm just saying. However, most people, they like to enjoy meat and wine, good wine, but that's what most of the world is. And therefore, that's why it's brought down in the Reish Nun. We'll learn later on in Halachot Siman 250. סעיף בן הלכה 2, דירבה בבשר וים מגדנות כפי יכולתו. Says, really, halachically, you don't need to eat basar and yain. Even though that's what even Shulchan Aruch later on will tell us that that's the most prevalent. So Mr. Berurah explains to you because that was the most prevalent in their times. Today, somebody comes to me and he says, he's a Bukhari, he came up with this foolish idea, on Yom Tov Shavuot, they're going to eat milchik. I said, what's your problem? Where did you get this from? It's our minhag, our family minhag. I want to slap him a few times in his head because there's no such a minhag. There is no such a thing in minhag by Bukharians to eat milchiks. Okay? I told him on Shavuot night. He wanted to eat, and it's a mistake. It's a big mistake. Great mistake, not a simple thing. Because the Yom Tov, Simchas Yom Tov, you have to eat meat and wine. So he tells me, no, our Simchas Yom Tov, all the milk and stuff. I said, first of all, that's not the Bukhari. You want some craziness, some American stuff that people in America started doing. First of all, don't tell me it's minhag. Second of all, it's a big problem in Halakha. Shulchan Aruch will discuss that on Yom Tov specifically. Shabbat, maybe here is alluding to you right away. See, Berurah told you that Shabbat is a little bit more leniency. It's because it's oneg. You have to make it oneg. No, Shabbat is less strict than Yom Tov. Because Yom Tov, it says in the Torah, it's openly in the Torah. V'samachta b'chagecha. You must rejoice on your holiday, which means, and simcha, there is no rejoicing ela bebasar v'yain. You must have meat and wine. The Torah out there outlines what is joy. So it's much worse. On Shabbat, you want to eat milk? No problem. Because if that gives you oneg, that's what gives you oneg. Nobody could argue with you. But on Yom Tov, where there is actually the Doraita that tells you you have to make it joyous. So now you cannot come and say, no, this is more joyous for me. No, it doesn't work like that. Because now Chazal already dictated to you what joyous means. Now, if you're going to tell me if somebody is sick, can't digest meat, and it's not good for him, we're not talking about Torah is not, Halakha of Torah is not for sick people. Halakha is for general public. They are yotzim in a club. Okay, you go to a Rav. Obviously, if you can't eat meat, we're going to tell you go eat milk. I'm not going to argue with you. But don't tell me it's a minhag. Don't tell me it's a lechatchila, we're going to prepare it. No, so when he's sick, he's sick. It's okay, there's no story. So that was one. Two, Bet, you with me? Hadam ruda afilu davar mu'at she'asa'o lechvot Shabbat ki yeh mitzvat oneg Shabbat. Some already, if you do anything out of ordinary, even something small for the honor of Shabbat, that's also called Shabbat. ואפילו כסד לחרסנה, היינו דגים קטנים מטוגנים בשמנן. What did he do? He took, what's his name, herring, and he fried herring for Shabbat. Which is, how long, anybody knows here? How long does it take to cook fish? 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, max. Fish burns very fast. So over there, he took a little herring, and he fried it a little bit. Shabbat, that's enough. Shabbat, anything you do. Now, in my house, they don't let me do anything for Shabbat. I mean, I do everything else. For myself, I do. But of the kitchen, the only thing I do is I prepare candles for Shabbat. Candle, that's it. Baruch Hashem, my children are all already. They do everything themselves. They cook. But again, my wife doesn't cook anymore. She cooks only the main dish. Okay, but everything is done already. So, but a person should do something. So the Gemara over there discusses that one Rav just used to chop wood that they cook for Shabbat with that wood. Prepare something, do something for extra besides taking care of yourself. Even though Gimel, yeah. Hada Amar Rabbi Akiva Aseh Shabbatcha Chol V'al Titzarech Labriot. This is what the Shulchan Aruch mentioned. Remember yesterday? He said, Zohar. Remember yesterday we said, make your Shabbat simple, but don't rely on people. What does that mean? Remember we discussed this yesterday a little bit? We alluded to that. So we said a rich person who has a little bit rough times, he should not go and embarrass himself and go beg people for food. But a poor person who is constantly that, no, he should rely on people, no problem. He has a right to go and ask for handouts to enjoy Shabbat. But a poor person who was chas v'shalom got a little bit stuck, it's not good for him to go and beg. Why? Why? Because he's not going to enjoy the Shabbat. In the end, he's going to cry, say, look what I had to do to beg for people for food Shabbat. Okay?
A rich person.
A rich person, yeah, that's what we said yesterday. וחילוק כל אלו המאמרים הוא באופן זה. So what's the difference between these three? So according to Rabbi Akiva, it sounds like that nobody should ever beg and make and eat on Shabbat macaronis. Don't beg, nobody. Not like I told you just now a few minutes ago. Rabbi Akiva's understanding on Shabbat, Taseh Shabbat Chachol, make your Shabbat like a simple day, and don't beg for people for food. That's Rabbi Akiva. So what's the difference? Till now we said all those other things. So the Rabbi says, V'chiluk kol elo. So what's the difference between these two? הוא באופן זה, דהיינו למען דאפשר צריך לכבדו כפי יכולתו. No, the bottom line is, it's like each person according to his abilities. That's what it means. Oh, so it's all about him. ומי שהשעה דחוקה לו ביותר, somebody who is completely how you call it? What's the word? No, desolate. No, destitute. He's destitute. היינו שאין לו רק מזון שתי סעודות שבת. He has only two things to eat on Shabbat. Two bulkas. He has one bulka and water for Friday night, one bulka and water for Shabbat morning. בזה אמר רבי עקיבא, עשה שבתך חול, ואל תצטרך לבריות, ואינו מחויב לו בשלוש סעודות ולא בחסד הרסנה. So over here, Rabbi Akiva said, if you already have enough to fulfill the mitzvah of Saudat Shabbat at night and Shabbat in the morning, don't go ask for more. You hear? That's what Rabbi Akiva meant. Me, don't even, he doesn't need fish. You hear what Rabbi Akiva says? Yeah, he says, Rabbi Akiva points out he doesn't need fish. He has can he fulfill the mitzvah with the bulkala? One bulka in water. Can he sustain himself? Yes. People live on much less than that for many days. So he has now a whole bulkala in water. Eat that, unfriendly. Huh? Bulkala, a roll, a holly roll. One holly roll.
And water?
Yeah.
And he can fulfill it?
Yeah. Of course, what else do you need? Revi, huh? No, that's only. That's pleasure. Friday night, let's say he has a roll of bulka, a roll of bread, and a cup of water. That's it. That's his meal. Nobody should know that, but that's what Rabbi Akiva says. If you have that already, for 2 of those. If you have 2 of those for tomorrow, today and tomorrow, then you don't ask anybody anything. That's what Rabbi Akiva says.
Wow.
That's Rabbi Akiva. Okay? We don't hold that Rabbi Akiva. By the way, we don't hold that Rabbi Akiva. ואין מחויב לא בשלוש סעודות ולא בחזרה. Okay. ומי שיש לו ממון, okay, I think I'm going to have to continue tomorrow here because I see that Zohar is 11, and hopefully tomorrow there's not the Torah, so we'll continue there tomorrow. Okay, guys? Continue in Mishnah Berurah. Again, this is what we're learning here. We're not learning here to cover ground. We're learning here to hopefully delve inside.
Learning to learn.
Learning to learn.
Guys, whoever has to go make parnasah, make parnasah b'shefa without any tzarot, without any bayot, only joy.